Hey guys, my name is Victoria and I'm going to be kicking off the summer series, and I'm just going to be sharing a little bit of my story and just where God has kind of brought me to today. So basically I grew up going to a Catholic school, and in the summer going into 8th grade I started going to a Christian church with my mom. So it was just my mom, my brother, and I here at home. So we started going. And I feel like comparing the both, feel like going to Catholic school, it was more of like learning about God and who Jesus was and what he did, but never about the direct relationship that you can have with him. But yeah, and so I started going to this Christian church with my mom, and the first time I went, I noticed just seeing the band and just seeing there's like people playing the drums, people playing the guitar and just singing, and even the message, having the message being like very relatable, specifically towards my mom, was like pretty cool because I never kind of been through anything like that. And yeah, and so I started going there for a while, and then in 8th grade, my mom had registered me to this Christian school, and it was super last minute. I was actually originally registered to go to this public school, but because of the strike going on that year, my mom wanted me to start right away. So I started going there, and there I met my longtime best friend, Natalie, who had been inviting me for over all of grade 8 to go to this youth group. And I had consistently said, no, I don't want to go. Like, I'd create excuses because I was always just very nervous person and anxious person. So I was always very, like, hesitant to go. And so I started going, and, the first couple times, like, just seeing people my age worshiping God, like, raising their hands, even singing on stage was very... it was very attractive, and I was like, wow, like whatever that is, like, I want that. And yeah, and so then it was funny because actually going for the first couple of times, or actually for a while, because I was very shy, I was always hiding behind Natalie. And yeah, so that's always been a huge thing I've struggled with. But yeah, so I started going, and I'll be honest, I first started going because I thought this guy was cute, and yeah, that kind of kept me wanting to go back. But there's this one service, I don't remember exactly what was being spoken about, but God really kind of like touched my heart, and it was just like, shift my focus into like what I was really going for, and also just like give me a different view of life, because I had gone through a lot of things with my dad and his problem, and just my mom, and things with all around kind of things with friends and family, and me not having an outlet or somebody to talk to about like any of it. I just realized how I do have God, and I do have somebody to be able to talk about all that stuff, and that I'm not alone. And I also saw things with a different light. Yeah, all those situations that I had been put through, that again, like, that they're all happening for a reason, and that I noticed how these things, that I can take them and I can grow from them. And for some people, I know that's a very hard way of thinking and just living, but I don't know, God was able... I know it was God because it was literally like a miracle, because I was so angry at the world, at everybody, and just having this total shift was huge for me. And so yeah, so I started kind of focusing more on that, and basically fast forward to last summer, I had finally decided to get baptized. And so baptism is something that I had wanted for a really long time, but I was so hesitant, because I was like, and I was just kept questioning it, and then because I was questioning it, I was like, I must not be ready. So I kept telling myself this, and last summer, I had it on my heart. It was during summer camp. I had it on my heart the whole week, and I was just like, I had been wanting to, and then the opportunity came. And it was super, like, it was perfect timing because it had been on my heart. And so I decided to last minute, and yeah, I got baptized, and it was pretty good. And well, that time until now, I'll be honest, it has been definitely a roller coaster, and I'm not saying it's all perfect. Definitely, I still, the same problems that I had been dealing with before getting baptized, I still dealt with. And it was kind of the same problems, things with my dad and just all around. But yeah, I still have that constant reminder that I do have somebody there that's kind of helping me, like, and carrying me through everything that's going on. And yeah, so it was kind of a roller coaster from time between my baptism and even now. I had gone through a breakup, a 1.5 year long relationship that I wasn't taking care of myself, and I wasn't my priorities. God wasn't my priority in it. My self-esteem was low because I just didn't know how to manage it, and how to. I relied on this guy to make me feel good about myself, and just stuff like that. And after the relationship ended, or I had ended things, my life really shifted, like, for the better. I'm not saying that this guy was not a good guy. He's a good person, but I just didn't know how to take care of myself through the relationship. But yeah, just a bunch of different situations and things God kind of handed to me. For example, going all in, like the all in service at Creo was the very first service that I had gone to after my breakup. And it was really crazy because that was the first kind of, during worship, that was the first service I had been to, and where I had felt happy and secure in myself and just full of, like, joy. Every single, and I'm not exaggerating, but every single time, like, during worship, like, before my breakup, and just, like, ever since, like, 8th grade, I'd always been, like, worship had always been a time for me to be, like, have, like, a cry for help, and be like, God, help me through this situation, through this, things that made me upset, things that made me sad. But after this breakup and this going through this service, I just felt like I literally had tears of joy. I was just smiling the whole time, and it was just, I felt good. I felt so happy. And that's why when Caitlin was talking about going all in, I had made that choice because I felt like I was in such a good place, and I just wanted more. I wanted to go further and just push myself. And so I did that. And since then, yeah, like, I had definitely a bunch of things with my dad. I started seeing him more, just hanging out more. Things with him were going good. Yeah, things with myself, like, just knowing that I'm worthy of just, like, love, and just, like, taking care of myself and knowing my self-worth. And that was a huge thing for me, and I definitely learned that right after the breakup. And just being able to, in that time too, like, after I learned about what it means to, yeah, like, have self-worth, or know your worth, God placed a bunch of people in my life who needed to hear that right after I had learned so much about it. So I felt like it was super good, just being able to, like, help people through that. And I mean, but even though I did choose to go all in, I still had definitely like a lot of, like, lows too after that. So I had a bunch of things that were happening that were going good. Oh yeah, and even this opportunity to speak at Creo, even though it didn't happen, it was still something really good. I think things like that are super good to have in our life, that encourage us to kind of evaluate where we are in life and where God has kind of moved, yeah, in our lives. But yeah, after that, I had I think once quarantine started, I was going strong again. Like, I was on fire for God, but I had a bit of a low point where I started, like, my priorities again, they were starting to shift, and it was just putting me in a bad place. I wasn't taking care of myself, my body, like physically, emotionally, even like spiritually, focusing on just the bad, like not good things. And things with my dad were getting harder and to deal with. But I mean, through it all, God has definitely still been like evident through like little like blips, like, if that makes sense. So like just people saying these things, or just sending me random like Bible verses. So yeah, there's still like little ways where God has been evident. But now I feel like I still have a bunch of things going on that really like weigh me down. But I feel like I'm getting back on track on where I was before, and because that's the place that I loved, and I want to get back on track to where I was then. And that means reading my Bible, talking to God a lot more, even talking to my friends about God. I feel like that is a huge thing. And yeah, I feel like I'm just in a spot where I just want to keep encouraging others, and even like having others encourage me. Like, so I have my close friends who I've talked about this with, and I have them, yeah, encouraging me like every day, just read my Bible and just do stuff like that. But yeah, so thank you for listening to me, and just my story, and also, yeah, where I'm at. But yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great summer. And yeah, bye.